Hi everyone, welcome to Unit 9 entitled Nursing Information Team, and included in this topic is a discussion on our expanding realities. This will be the last discussion for the entire course in Nursing Informatics. I would like to congratulate each one of you, and I thank you for participating in the activities, assignments, and listening patiently in our lecture discussions. Despite the difference in time and location, we have made this course 95% asynchronous and 5% synchronous. Thank you for joining me in this journey, and my hopes is that you learn something about nursing informatics. I also would like to thank the UC administration for this support to teach once again this course. I am not sure if I can teach this next year because I am taking my master's in health informatics and will focus on finishing it with excellence. Going back to our topic for today, the goal for Unit 9 is for learners to be able to identify the member in the nursing informatics team and work with them excellently, to inspire new nurses to be nursing informaticians or nursing entrepreneurs for the future, and lastly, will be able to expand the realities in nursing informatics. Also, one of our goals is for new nurses to navigate into the jungle of the hospital IT organizational chart. The healthcare team is a team effort. Each member has a special role within the team. Some are doctors, technicians, others are experts in treating disease, while others are masters in the science of caring. Doctors, physicians, or physician assistants, nurses, pharmacists, dentists, technologists and technicians, therapists and rehabilitation specialists, emotional, social, and spiritual support providers, administrative and support staff, and community health workers and patient navigators are all part of the healthcare team. Here's an example of an organizational chart of a hospital information technology. At the very top is the CEO, who is responsible for strategic leadership, and he or she works with the board of directors to establish the overall vision, goal, and direction of the organization. In the organization that I work, our vision is better together. Very simple, and our mission is a new kind of healthcare for a healthier community, and our values are compassion, excellence, and courage. So that's very simple. So I'm gonna so this is the CEO. So usually the CEO is the boss in my institution I work. CEO has her, like, I think, monthly broadcast where she broadcasts her speech all throughout our hospital. So the organization where I work has like several hospitals in it, sister hospital. So it's broadcasted all over. So everybody will remain in the same track. Directly under the CEO is the Chief Operational Officer, or the COO, this one. The COO, or the Chief Information Officer, is responsible for high-level business processes and reporting procedures. Whether the CIO reports to the CEO or not, the CIO is the last say and authority over the hospital IT department. The CIO leads the hospital IT department, providing vision and direction on major IT issues. This is the CIO. So in the chart that I am providing you from healthcare IT skills, the CIO here reports to the COO, and the COO reports to the CEO. I was told that CEOs are hired to solve 5 problems, like high-level problems in a day. So if they can solve that, their job is done, can go home. So CEO, COO, and CIO. Side by side with COO is the VP of nursing. So this is where we can work. Okay. The VP of nursing provides leadership and accountability over clinical operations and decisions. He or she reports to the COO or CEO, and all nurse managers reports to him or her. Each unit or ward in the hospital has one manager, so there are multiple managers that reports to the VP of nursing. So this person here is responsible for clinical operations and decisions. The Chief Medical Information Officer, or CMIO, straddles between the CEO and the CIO. The CMIO is usually a physician, and he or she works closely with the VP of Nursing Operations. The CMIO represents the physicians of the organization in determining the long-term vision for IT at the hospital. The CIO play a crucial role in all major IT decisions. Next is under the CIO are the directors. Okay, this one here, director, and the three directors depending on the size of the hospital. And let's talk about the green circles. Okay, so the green circles first is the ambulatory clinical apps. So we'll talk about this. We'll talk about the clinical apps first. We'll talk about outpatient. So this manager is over the clinical analyst who supports software and related processes for outpatient and specialty clinics. They support the following software products: EHR, you know EHR, right? Scheduling software like Kronos, outpatient billing, specialties like cardiology, eye care, behavioral health, and home health. Patient portals like MyChart. I think you remember when we have a discussion about EHR, I showed you a screen capture of MyChart where I went to the United States and I had a COVID test done, and then they give me an access to my own information using a MyChart, which is an Epic system. Mobile apps, controlled access to medical records. These are the softwares that this person, the outpatient apps manager, supports. Also, controlled access to medical records by community providers or physician portal, and electronic medical prescribing. The next one that we will be talking about is the inpatient clinical apps. So in a hospital, there is an outpatient, okay? In my organization, we call it ambulatory. Ambulatory and inpatient refers to those who are admitted. So this manager, her department manages the clinical software and related processes that serve the on-site hospital departments, such as medical floors and wards, ICU, operating room, labor and delivery, and usually the emergency department. This department supports the following software products like inpatient clinical documentation like Epic or Meditech. So I haven't mentioned about Meditech. Meditech is like Epic, but I also have experience with Meditech, and Meditech has been here for a long time. So what's the difference? I'll tell you later. Inpatient billing, inpatient registrations, HIM, clinical orders, and inpatient lab results, software to support pharmacy systems such as Omnicell, patient location tracking systems, IV pumps, and imaging software. So that's the software that this manager here supports. Next is the technical apps. So we have the technical apps director. Reporting are the managers. So the first one is the network security and infrastructure. This guy here. So this guy is a very technical, highly technical team. He or she manages a very highly technical team responsible for core systems, security, and system maintenance. The following are their functions. So first, the system upgrades. So they do system upgrades, and they initiate and they make sure that everyone upgrades all the computers and all the rovers. Next is the large and small on just about every system, everything. Network maintenance and upgrades, firewalls. Like in our hospital, we have a very strict firewall, so we cannot access other websites in our system. We can access Google, but not all of it. especially those websites that the security people, the technical people identified as a high security risk. So security interface analyst, OS maintenance, the operating system maintenance, they do it. Server maintenance, software deployments. So they also deploy softwares, which like in our case, in my case, these are the ones that promotes the use of specific softwares. These are your system administrators that usually focus on a specific areas. For example, a hospital with Epic will have Epic certified system managers who work on the core systems of Epic. Those people are usually on call because they have to perform system maintenance at the least busy times of the night, like 2 o'clock at Sunday morning. So they don't maintain the system around busy schedules, like Monday morning. Monday morning is very busy, so they don't do it there. So they do it in the most what they call this, the lesser busy days. So I remember when our hospital converted into Epic systems, we did it at on Sunday, um, 1 o'clock. Sunday 1 o'clock they started, and then because of technical glitch and failures, they were able to run the system at 4 a.m. Next is the business apps team. This one. So business apps team supports on non-clinical IT software and services that are not always at the top of everyone's mind. These are the following: timekeeping programs like Kronos, data software systems, electronic faxing, supply inventory systems, payroll, email and instant messaging, oddball programs like those programs and applications that do not fit anywhere, like for example, secure file transfer protocols. These are like the cloud-based systems. Okay. Next one is the help desk manager. So the help desk manager, um, desktop support and help desk, um, supports PCs, laptops, printers, and other devices in the hospital. We see them. We also call them as the biomedical. So we see them all the time because they are computer guys. So they know every inch in the hospital, like every holes they know it. So they frequently get called after hours to deal with PC, printer, and monitor issues. So these are the issues that irritates the nurses, right? When printers doesn't work, label printers doesn't work, computers doesn't work, and these are so annoying. Project management office, right here, the project management office. I was once a project manager in the Philippines in the um, National Computer Center in Manila. Project Management Office provides oversight and direction of specific projects that have start and end dates. I was a project, as I've said, I was a project manager before in National Computer Center in the Philippines, and we work closely with staff managers, directors, analysts, and CIO to ensure that projects are successful. The iSchool project was successful. It was a project of um, an administration before Ninoy Aquino, and then it was fulfilled during Aquino's time. PM or project managers report to management director or the CIO. PMs can be RNs, so you can work in here too. So here, here, and here and here. You can work on those. You can work on those areas. Okay. Next is IT trainers. So IT trainers, the training department this training department employs the IT staff who develop curriculum and train end users on a multitude of software systems. RNs and other clinical staff who end up doing this training. So a lot of us went to. I didn't go to IT trainers. A lot of my colleagues in the our department is called the clinical resource team. A lot of us went to as IT trainers when we implement Epic in the hospital, but I didn't because at that time I was focused on learning some clinical, what do you call this? Clinical stuffs. So I didn't, and it's a boring job too, right? Boring and annoying job too. Okay, so this is me navigating through an Omnicell. Omnicell is an old technology, so this is otherwise, if you will, call it electronic medicine cabinet. So what you do here is that this one has a finger. I mean, what do you call this? Uh, I forgot this term. Why? Um, fingerprint identification, and this technology has been here for a while. In fact, in other countries, this is obsolete. In June of next month, our this system will be phased off in the organization that I work. Um, this is nice because it is connected to Epic systems, and once you enter a medication, or once a doctor enters a medication, it pops up in this system, and then you can get it. So the security of this thing is that if it's a narcotic, it needs a doctor's order, and you need to count the number of narcotics inside. It asks you to count. If not, it will print a receipt that it has issues with counting. So I really love the system too. Old but still working. This one is the user interface, or graphic user interface, or GUI of Meditech. I used to work using this software, but I like Meditech. I like Epic better. So what I like in here is this one here. This area. You can write something, and there's a version of that in Epic, but it's a different one. Only you can see. This one, I think everybody can see. Nurses as leaders in the management of nursing information system. I've been talking about this since day zero, that we nurses should be leaders in the management of nursing information system, and we already talk about why. Okay, so according to McCartney in 2004, that nursing informatics is a 21st century science with great potential of improving the quality, safety, and efficiency of healthcare. All nurses have an opportunity to contribute and lead in informatics. So leaders must learn about current informatics issues from essential sources, including literature, professional organizations, and education programs to develop successful strategies for innovation, collaboration, and implementation. Most importantly, nurses must be accountable for humanizing the use of technology using a nursing model. So a nursing model that I use is the humanistic nursing theory by Patterson and Ziderad. So I use technology in the care of my patient, but I maintain the human factor in the care. As nurses, we collect information about our patients and use this information to create care plans, implement the plan, and communicate our findings with the interdisciplinary teams. Never before in history, nurses have the opportunity to communicate and plan care more effectively than now. Right now, nurses are in collaboration with their clients and other care providers due to advances in technology. So in the hospital I work, instead of calling the doctor, we send them a secure messages telling them that this is what I think, this is what I need. Please give me this medication. Just give me this consultation or something. We have discussed this in the previous chapter, previous units. My unit is composed of several chapters and several inclusions in it. That nurses in the future will be overseers of artificial intelligence and automated technology. And as nurses, we will ensure a more holistic aspects of care continue under new systems. Okay, so that's the role of the role of nurses. Remember what Richard Booth predicts? He predicted that in the future, nurses will eventually become higher level delegators. That's according to um, Richard Booth, which I discussed in my um, the previous units. Nursing informatics and the nurse entrepreneur. So, how many of you thought that being a nursing informatician can be an entrepreneur too? So, I have known a couple of care providers here in Canada, nurses here in Canada, that is starting their own business in informatics. A friend of mine is starting his telehealth services and is now slowly developing his website. From time to time, we see each other, and I give him comments about how to improve his website. And you know, he asked for my opinion, and then he just gave me pizza in return because he doesn't have money to uh, develop his. For now, doesn't have money, but later on, this guy will be rich. According to LG Brooks 2021, HIMSS, you remember HIMSS, or the European Health Conference and Exhibition, is a competition. So HIMSS, um, or the European Health Conference and Exhibition, is a competition for nurses innovators with financial prize. HIMSS and the American Nurse Association sponsors the competition each year. So if you have ideas, you can join this one. Search in Google HIMMSS. Okay. So last year in 2021, the winning ideas are: number one, a platform to support pregnant mothers and parents using telehealth, phone, chat, and group classes. Very simple, but yeah. Number two, a company that improves patient education through simulation. Oh, that's cool. We use simulation in this subject. Number three, an e-platform to support social justice in nursing. So those were the three concepts and ideas that won in the 2021 European Health Conference and Exhibition. The only way to become an informatics nurse entrepreneur is coming up with new amazing technology. So that's the only way to come up with an idea or a new technology. Some of the informatics nurses even have their consulting firms. How do they do it? They hire others to provide a full suite of services to healthcare institutions. Like my friend hired me and gave me pizza as my pay. There's no specific requirements in order to become an entrepreneur, but don't take this out of context. You still need to study, you still need to graduate college and university, you still need to get your master's degree and doctor's degree to be successful. Okay? Don't believe in what others say that if you're successful, you're successful. There's a lot of people that they don't take high school or college and they become successful. There were just few of them, and they are highly exceptional because number one, they might be very intelligent, and number two, they are born with a golden spoon. So you, my friend, needs to finish your study, needs to finish your university and graduate school. You are not born If you are not born with a golden spoon, so you have to do this. You have to do the hard way, just like all of us did. But informatics nurses become entrepreneur when they take a risk. Okay, my friend took a risk, like risking his money to hire people to like develop his website. And you can only take this path. You know what? You can only take the risking path, the risking part of the job, once you have knowledge and experience with technology and network with people you encounter along the way. So it is very important that you talk to people, okay? And networking is very important. Um, Sometimes people give you connections. When I was working at the bedside, I was managing. They opened up a new unit, and I was managing that unit. And then a PCC, or patient care coordinator, came to me, which is also a nurse. Her role is to make sure that all patients have beds. So we were talking about nursing informatics, and I told her that, yeah, I studied um, informal courses for nursing informatics and a 2-year computer science course as well. And I told her that my plan is to, um, you know, integrate myself in the future of nursing in 2030 and become prepared and poise myself to become a nursing informatician. She said, "Oh, I've known someone. I know the nursing informatician of this organization. I'll give you the number. I'll give you the email." So I took the email and we connected to each other. And sometimes, not sometimes, yeah, sometimes they give you knowledge or information how to go in that path. And as a nursing informatician, you can also become a nurse entrepreneur if you offer new knowledge, if you take the risk and connect with people along the way. So we finished that portion, and now we're moving into our expanding realities. So if you are reading McGonigal and Maestrian 2021, they have provided a pause for you to think about nursing in the context of informatics and of reality. I hope you take time to reflect on your own situation about your own computer and informatics knowledge. Throughout our lecture, we have expanded our information and knowledge about nursing informatics and how it impacts our practice and patient care. Now, the authors, McGonigal and Maestrian, would like you to consider informatics in relation to your realities. So, what are your realities? For those who want to follow this discussion, it can be found in Chapter 26 in the 5th edition of Nursing Informatics and the Foundation of Knowledge, page 611. The objectives for this portion of the unit is to describe reality. What is reality? To differentiate among virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and extended reality, and assess how informatics supports and evolves the realities, explore various realities to contemplate and critically think about in relation to your current reality, and foreseeable realities while imagining your future realities. Assess the relationship among Internet of Things, intelligence of things, and artificial intelligence of things, and reality. And finally, we will describe the impact of big data, robotics, and smart devices on our professional reality as well as our patients' realities. So this is me trying to navigate using Oculus VR. So before moving forward to this lecture, let me ask you, what is reality? Reality refers to the world or the state of things as they actually exist. So this one, you facing me, is the reality, and our reality is that I'm your teacher and you're my student, and we are in this discussion because we wanted to know nursing informatics. So thinking about reality, is one person's reality different from yours? So yeah, I think so, right? My reality is different from your reality. So meaning to say reality is different from person to person? What do you think? If yes, in what way? And does your level of education affects your reality? Is your level of education affects your perception and your understanding of things around you? So does it mean that if I don't have education, I may perceive things differently? If those questions are unclear, let's try this. I know you've heard about Oculus, this one, okay? And I know you have this one too. I've used them for FB and of course with some hyper-realistic games that I really like. So when people enter virtual reality, such as in the one in Facebook, does that experience then become their reality? What do you think? Or they do suspend reality to enter fantasy? Augmented reality, or AR, is an enhancement of people's reality. Thus, AR becomes their reality. So when I go to Facebook, when I go to Meta, does it become my reality? Or can I distinguish the changes as those that are added to my reality? If virtual, augmented, and actual realities are combined, what is real to people? Okay, that's a thought-provoking question, say. I really love this topic. Advancements that have enhanced patient care and transformed the healthcare reality. So, this one, exploring the patient's own anatomy using VR prior to surgery. So, before it wasn't reality, now it is a reality. Seeing through the skin to illuminate veins for blood draws. I don't know if you have seen the vein finder. We have I saw a very high-tech vein finder. It reflects an IR and it will like map the veins so you know where to insert it. Yeah, is that a reality too, or is that an artificial reality? Using decision support technologies. So Epic systems can provide you with information and sometimes predict what's going on with your patient. Then using AI for making decisions and interpreting diagnostic test analysis and diagnosis. Then planning treatments, integrating smart devices, distilling massive amounts of data and research into meaningful doses, prescribing, assigning and revising adaptive learning modules based on the individual's learning cues, connecting through global telehealth, and providing VR instructions for painful procedures. So we'll talk about them later. So as technology continues to evolve, nurses will see different issues of technology and its integration in healthcare. This shapes application of technology will transform and alter nurses' reality. Knowledge check. Please read question number 1 and write the answer on a piece of paper. I'll give you time to do this. Question number 2. If you need more time, just pause this video and write your answer in a separate piece of paper and transfer it to our knowledge check stream. According to McGonigal and Maestrian 2021, nursing informatics has enhanced the current reality of providing direct patient care while beginning to transect the realities of life given current technologies capabilities. From implementing voice recognition to improve the ability to enhance with devices to entering total environments, technology continues to impact the nursing reality. Those who adopt and adapt the latest technologies available will continue to transform healthcare and provide patients with most advanced care techniques. Listen, okay? Listen and learn from this. This is according to McGonigal and Maestrian. He said, and I quote and I repeat, those who adopt and adapt the latest technologies available will continue to transform healthcare and provide patients with most advanced care techniques. So if you have an opportunity to be trained in new technologies, do it. Don't say no, just say yes and then say no later if you can. So this is a challenge. This is a challenge or issues that we talk about in our previous units, that older nurses cannot accommodate the developing or the changing technology in nursing. So if you have the ability to adopt and adapt technologies that will be available to you and transform healthcare, you will be on top of everything. So teachers like me and the one that you have in school must be early adopters and keep their students abreast of the technological advances made in healthcare and other sectors that will impact patient care. Maybe next year, I'm gonna use Oculus VR for my lectures. And I'm now searching on a camera that takes three-dimensional or multi-dimensional aspects of myself. Right now, this is like one-dimensional or two, right? So maybe next year when they allow me to teach, I'll do it in VR. So everybody will have to buy their own VR when they do this lecture, right? So your teachers must be the promoters of technology. I've seen a lot of teachers that are old style, right? So in 2030, I don't know where to place them, but they have the responsibility to upgrade themselves, their knowledge too. The future care providers, researchers, administrators, informaticists, and educators must be able to frame the use of technology, especially today, late at this time. So nurses must use technology. I remember when I was in nursing school, my teachers are haters of technology. They don't want us to um, encode our drug study. They want us to write it in, like handwriting. And I can't, like, for me, I really can't find the, what do you call this? The meaning of writing, because technology is already available. And writing, like longhand writing, consumes a lot of time, consumes a lot of effort as well. And they told us like, oh, we're not allowing you to do encoding. They called it typing before. You can't do it via encoding because you'll just copy and paste. And they don't know that when you use information and use technology, you can't just copy and paste. You have to read them, analyze them, and put it in a specific area. Because people think, because I don't know, like what I don't know what my teachers are thinking before. Lifelong learning. So all of us must be lifelong learners. Okay, me, I'm a lifelong. I'm 38 right now, but I'm still studying. Lifelong learning must not only be a search of knowledge, but also a way to stay informed about new technologies and learn how to implement them. Sorry. As lifelong learners, we have to absorb legit knowledge rather than feeding ourselves with fake news, disinformation, and theories made from pseudosciences like your conspiracy theories. I hope all of us believes that the earth is elongated and not flat. And if you're a conspiracy theorist, then you have no place in nursing informatics because we deal with data, pure data that can be processed into information and knowledge. And you know how the system process like that, like input, process, output. That's how computer system process. And if you're this kind of person that has your own version of reality, then you don't have a place in a scientific endeavor like nursing informatics. As nursing informaticists, we engage in evaluating and choosing technologies, tailors functionality, and establishing conditions and requirements, deploy technologies, and prepare users by designing and delivering the necessary training. As nursing informatics informs and expands nurses' knowledge and technology use, their reality is being impacted as well as the reality of the healthcare industry and that of the patients. And now we'll talk about realities. We will explore various realities to contemplate and critically think about in relation to your current reality and foreseeable realities while imagining your future realities. Every new expressed idea, concept, or product will continue to shape our reality. So, the first one that we'll be talking about is augmented reality or AR. It is an interactive experience within a real world environment that enhances real world objects using virtual, simulated, or computer generated perceptual information. It provides the user with olfactory, visual, auditory, and haptic and somatosensory such as pain and warmth sensations. Examples of AR are glasses and software that not only interacts with users but enhances their senses with data, information. You know, when you put in a what you call it, like a glove, smart gloves, and it gives you like warm or something when you enter into a virtual or augmented reality. So that heat is a form of data actually. Yeah, with data, information, audio, and images. The mechanism works by overlaying AR into the current environment or reality to enhance the virtual experience. As AR holograms, do you know about AR holograms? Now it's used in nursing schools. As AR holograms becomes common in our reality, we can use these AR holograms to orient nurses and nursing students to a new work or clinical setting, such as a hospital. So you don't. I remember when I was a student in the nursing school, they used to bring us to the unit or ward to orient us where the medication table is, where's the nurse station, this is the patient, and through AR holograms, we will do it online and in a 360 degrees vision. You don't need to go there, you know, like when you orient students in a COVID facility. So this one is more safer than just going there right away. AR can overlay a patient in the examination room. So I'll show you a video. Like I think it's Indiana University that uses this. So students can practice their assessments on augmented reality. We can also use it for anatomy and physiology and many more. Can you imagine if because because I studied nursing in 2000 in the 2000s, and still our teachers are like old fashioned, old style. We do assessments with bodies, and our anatomy and physiology, we have like broken models of what do you call this, a human anatomy. This is ceramics, and really all I can say is that I really didn't have like a very nice experience with my education in nursing, and I can imagine if my reality will change if I have used these kinds of technology that we have today. So the next video is about augmented reality or AR. Watch this.
The HoloLens is used right throughout our entire undergraduate and postgraduate education. It is a holographic image in mixed reality, so the students can see the image directly in front of them, but they can also see the external environment.
So everything from anatomy, where students can learn about the GI tract, right through to different patient scenarios where we can bring a condition to life in the form of a real person that they can seat in a classroom and walk a full 360 around and observe. So holo patient means that we've got a patient who's experiencing some sort of health crisis. So that could be everything from domestic violence right through to stroke or myocardial infarction. We place that person in the room and the students see the room just as it is, and then they can walk around that patient and they watch a 15-second loop of a different scenario, assess, stop, ask questions, and then we exacerbate that condition. The holo human is anatomy, so that's the chance for a student to look at everything from a skeleton right through to the different parts of the human system. So the GI tract, the genitourinary tract, all of those different things.
I think it has improved the way that I learn. It's definitely given me as a visual learner more to grasp onto, more to be able to see and to interact with. And I think it has enhanced my learning.
The visuals are really good. They're easier to use and manoeuvre around in the room, and very realistic looking too.
They're really excited and they're really positive about what they've seen. So they always get a little bit of a shock when they put it on and actually see a real life person or the different structures within the body. And so they're really excited to get them out and use them and ask for it more and more.
Because we have HoloLens, it really has enhanced the students' clinical thinking because they can see a realistic image, they can see a deterioration, and then we can really transfer that knowledge from book theory to practice in a safe and clinical environment and improve the outcomes for our students as a result.
Oh, I'd love to see more things like this, more augmented reality, more bringing the clinical environment closer to us as students, that we can learn things that are closer to what we'd be experiencing out in the real world. Yeah.
I think technology internationally is changing, and to keep up with what is happening internationally and to promote SIT, it was a really good investment, and the students really, really enjoy it. It's really revolutionised the nursing education that we can currently do.
Mixed reality, or MR, I think the video that we just viewed mentions about mixed reality, or MR. MR is the blending of physical world with the virtual world to create new environments and visualizations along the continuum from AR to VR. As students move from textbooks and two-dimensional images to the realities, they can now view anatomy from the inside out and explore it in 3 dimensions. Using MR decreases and even eliminates the use of cadaver. Nurses can practice complex procedures before they implement them in their patients. So that's mixed reality. Next reality is extended reality. Extended reality, or XR, is an umbrella term where the X in XR can represent any letter, so that the term covers all the forms of digitally altered realities that currently exist and other immersive technologies yet to be developed. With XR, users can experience augmentation through total immersion. The next video that I will show you is how to set up an extended reality. Watch this.
So you want to take your presentation to the next level? Well, we can help, and we were lucky enough to get along to the Sky's showroom in London to check out one of their extended reality setups. So it comprises of an LED floor and an LED wall, very typical kit that we're all familiar with, and as you'd expect, we can put some content on these products and straight away it looks like I'm in a TV studio. But you know, we are really limited to the size of the room and the size of the physical LED product itself. What if we could actually take away those boundaries and immerse myself in a virtual world? Well, the Skies have done this with some fantastic hardware, and that is the Sky Solutions. What if we could actually take away those boundaries and immerse myself in a virtual world? Well, the Skies have done this with some fantastic hardware, and that is the Sky Solutions. So as you can see now, I'm in a virtual world. There is a seamless transition between the physical LED wall and the virtual set. The camera can pan around as it usually would, an operator can drive this, and the model will react in real time to those camera movements.
Virtual reality, or VR, simulates in a digital medium. VR has been used in healthcare for around 20 years now, in nursing schools, and they're exploring and implementing VR in the education of the future nursing workforce. I think some of our units contain virtual simulations, right? I think the last one had a virtual simulation where I was the one playing it. We Are Learning episodes provides opportunities for nursing students to practice skills and interviewing techniques in a safe environment and experience intimate and challenging conversations, such as discussing death and dying with their patients, while the faculty member assess their ability to empathize with and support the patients. I do have a lot of virtual simulations, but I think we don't have much time to, play with them. But hoping that in the near future, our paths will cross again, so I can show you some of the virtual simulations that we have. How does virtual VR immersion impact the students' reality when they interact with the actual patients? We are we, So when I was a student, we did had a lot of virtual simulations or virtual reality VR, and actually, um, like in here, okay, because I continued my nursing course in here, so it actually helps because when we practice assessments, we practice it virtually, and then when we go to our patient, it's now easy. Okay, so the next video I will show you is the talks about the difference between AR, VR, MR, and XR. Watch this.
We'd been wanting to do virtual reality here at IEPUC for a lot of reasons, but flexibility being one of them. So the equipment is SimX AR. So it is a company out of California that does virtual reality programming for health professions.
It's very accurate because I work in a hospital, and like when we have C. diff patients, like the isolation, you have to practice putting on the gown, the gloves, washing the hands properly.
If my test results come back, I'm having all this diarrhea.
Well, you actually have a condition that's called C. diff, so it actually makes you have diarrhea there for a while.
I like the aspect that you're communicating with the patient and the family members because that's real life. So what medications were you on during the pregnancy?
I used pills about a week ago.
What pills were they? Do you know the exact name of the medication?
I'd rather not say.
Oh, okay.
I take pain medication.
Unfortunately, we do see commonly, and a lot across the country we do, but we do see a lot of that here in our region. And so that is babies born to a mother that took various types of drugs and might have some withdrawal symptoms. The purpose of that scenario is not so much around the baby, but more around the mother and how they talk with the mother.
I feel terrible.
I'm sorry you feel that way. The only part we're concerned about is her fussiness and stuff, so we're just going to have to monitor her through the withdrawal stages and make sure everything stays on track, but as far as we're concerned, she looks like a healthy baby.
Well, actual clinical exposure, live clinical exposure is fantastic. We can't create a situation. So that is the big value, is the flexibility. UITS really got this off the ground for us. So Bill Fields, our executive director, was the kind of startup communication with this company, and they've been really instrumental helping us have the equipment that we need.
Knowledge check. Please read question number 3 and write the answers in a piece of paper. Please pause if you need more time. Question number 4. This is question number 5. You're looking at question number 6. This is question number 7. And this is question number 8. So now I will be talking about the realities that will happen in the future. Okay, so telemedicine. So telemedicine is a current reality, but it will be enhanced in the future. Telemedicine receive boost with over with COVID-19 with a COVID-19 pandemic, which found healthcare providers scrambling to provide safe access to healthcare while maintaining quality and care continuity. Telemedicine states that regulatory changes that impacted healthcare billing and patients experience a new reality using the healthcare access pathway. Many view this reactive surge of telemedicine as the path forward and represents a paradigm shift in how care will be delivered beyond 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. Even up to now, here in Canada, people are still and are comfortable doing telemedicine. This is question number 9. So, big data. So, as nursing informaticists and as nurses, we deal with so much data. In the institutions that I work, we produce 30 gigabytes per day. Can you imagine? Where can we store that? So, big data is mined, analyzed, and synthesized by informaticists who advance big data science. The informatics must have access to data sets that are significant and relevant in order to mine them. Mine meaning dig. Okay, so that's your job. If you want to be a nursing informaticist, you have to dig data, see the pattern, and create knowledge. Okay, data mining occurs during the throughput in the middle of the data processing cycle. So the figure above in the slide right here shows the path that data travel and how they are processed or transformed from locating and capturing the data to interpreting and understanding the data to the reporting and ultimate use of application day in form. So as you can see, there's input, throughput, output. That's the process, the generation of knowledge process, computer process, right? Input, process, and output. And then feedback. Okay, that's the report of application. So the nurse informaticist works with and often leads a team that typically consists of statistician and computer scientists, and shows their ability to track and extract data and information in meaningful ways that could advance the nursing knowledge. And when coupled with innovative, evolving technologies such as AI and machine learning, it will have a significant impact on nursing practice in the nursing profession. So patterns and trends can be identified in the data, patient outcomes compared to those expected, and preventive analytics and forecasting explored. Question number 10. Write your answer on a piece of paper, and if you need more time, please pause this video. Question number 11. And then we move on to IoT, intelligence of things, and artificial intelligence of things. Okay, technological advances in science, telecommunications, robotics, and informatics capabilities in relation to the technologies and big data continue to transform healthcare. The latest trail that is being blazed in the healthcare delivery system is from state-of-the-art up to the minute devices and the high-tech communication systems interfacing with integrating and integrating them. This is according to McGonigal and Misrian. The Internet of Things connect devices. Remember, Internet of Things. This connects devices to the internet and to other interconnected devices that collect useful data and information. AI uses machine learning and intelligence to infer things and learn from its interfacing and interaction. So how the machine learns is by readjustment. Okay, IoT is the blending of AI and the infrastructure of the Internet of Things to realize efficiencies and enhance human technology interfacing and interactions. Through this powerful infusion or combination, data management and analytics are improved. So can you imagine, for example, a glucometer that tells you that this is abnormal, and according to the previous trend, this is a big leap in the changes in the glucose of the patient. So can you imagine that? So that will be very helpful. Artificial intelligence of things will be leading the way to empower the billions of smart devices and meet mainstream needs, including smart healthcare, smart monitoring, smart homes, smart driving vehicles, and other smart technologies, and will contribute to society's health and lifestyle. This is question number 12. Pause the video if you need more time. Knowledge check. Question 13. Another reality, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a disruptive innovation. So, it enhances AI, enhances devices and agents that are ushering in a new era of healthcare that will radically inform and enrich patient care and improve patient outcomes. AI's impact is far reaching and ranges from using AI algorithms to monitor, diagnose, and treat a diabetic fluctuation in blood glucose levels with insulin to providing real time assistance for healthcare providers with clinical interpretations. The potential of AI in healthcare is being realized in its ability to interpret and diagnose. Radiologists in the future may not be needed because AI can more efficiently and accurately interpret scans and x-rays than they can. One time, I asked a doctor, "Hey doctor, the artificial intelligence of Epic says that the patient is having sepsis." And the doctor's comment over the phone was that, "Oh, the computer is taking over, eh?" Then it was true. Patient is having sepsis and it takes the doctor time to think about it. But the computer already prompted me. They're like far too advanced. AI and machine learning can extend the healthcare workforce. Knowledge check. This is question number 14. Knowledge check. Question number 15, and write your answer in a piece of paper. And now, robots or robotics. Robots are automated and or smart machines that are programmed to complete the routine tasks typically done by a person. So a robot might be an automated or a program or non-automated. Okay, robots are permeating our healthcare delivery system. They assist with surgery. Da Vinci and Sophia, care of patients in place of nurses, and assume recurring tasks for nurses and doctors, such as getting supplies to increase the time doctors and nurses can spend with their patients. They can assist in pharmacy and deliver drugs. Yeah, we have that in our hospital too, like the robots that deliver drugs and help the agent live more independently. As in the example of Brad helping Amy, Brad is a robot too. Brad is a robot that resembles pets and can help with psychological interactions with people who are lonely. They need without the need for maintenance, which is a requirement for a pet. Like when you have a dog, you need to walk the dog, feed the dog, and bring the dog to the hospital. To the vet. But if you're like an older patient, these activities will gonna exhaust you, or the risk of having a roommate. Okay. Now let's check. Please read the question. This is question number 16. Question number 17. Smart devices. So, I was born in an era where we don't have that much smart devices. The first time I used a smart device when I have my smart. Let me see. Um, yeah, I think in 2009 when I have my LG. I think, yeah, 2009 when I have my 3D LG that I can access the internet. Yeah, those were like semi smart devices, but the smart devices that I can say that is fully smart was when I use iPhone 4S. So yeah. So smart devices continue to invade our reality. So can you imagine without your your phone, or without your phone right now, without your computer right now, without your iPad right now, you can't see me, right? So is this part of your reality? Did your reality change once you began using smart devices? Mine did, and it expands my reality. And I remember when I was in the Philippines, and the first time I traveled to Hong Kong, my reality was changed. At that time, we don't have this kind of electronics, the smart electronics, right? We don't have that one. So the only way I can gain access to information was, and internet was expensive at the time. Not everyone has internet. Now everybody has internet. Was through books, and I was made to believe that that we as Filipino people, we are the best in the world. Yeah, my teachers always tell me that we are the best in the world. But when I went to Hong Kong, I discovered that we are not the best in the world. We're one of the best, and um, there are other cultures, there are other civilizations that are more than us, and it expanded my reality, and my reality is like boom. So could you give up your smart devices or your gadgets? Our patients also use smart devices, right? We can capture data from our patients' wearable devices like their smartwatch. And the data we collect and analyze from smart devices permit us to predict health problems and personal treatment to support personalized medicine. We can treat patients before they even experience any symptomology, like what we call this, the freedom libre, right? So patients just tap their cell phones and see like, oh, I have a high blood sugar, so I can intervene before any diabetic coma will occur. Okay, consider all the smart devices you can describe and relate the types of data that they can transmit to the healthcare provider. Now let's check. This is question number 18, and for this last topic, I give you 2 points bonus. Okay. Please read question number 18 and write your answer on a piece of paper. If you need more time, you can pause this video and then transfer your answers to the stream provided. Okay. So before we end our discussion, I would like to summarize the contents of our course that started in January. So week one, we talk about about introduction to nursing informatics. We talk about the process, the computer process, like input process, in output and feedback. We talk about the history of computer and history of informatics. We talk a lot of stuff in there. Unit 2, we talk about computers in nursing, documentation in healthcare. We talk about the parts of the computer and how we use them. And Unit 3 is the overview of the internet. This is one of the most interesting part of my lecture, the internet. I love the internet. And we talk about history of the internet and how nurses use the internet, if you can remember, right? Unit 4, types of information health systems. We discuss a lot of health systems. We discuss telehealth in this area too. We discuss HIS in a lot of them. Unit 5, nursing informatics competencies. We discuss what should a nursing informatics personnel achieve. Like, what are her competencies? We talk about the 3 types of nursing informatics, informaticians, and we differentiate each one of them. And Unit 6 is legal and ethical issues in nursing informatics. We talk about the application of ethics in informatics and the laws, HIPAA, the law in the Philippines, and there's a lot of stuff in there. Unit 7, the future of nursing informatics. So why I didn't put this as the last part, the future of nursing informatics, because we are this one here talks about a new era of technologies, right? And they are now here. So that's why I put it in Unit 7. Unit 8, Introduction to Electronic Documentation. So in here, we did our first synchronous class. Not even like the entire class, like one-on-one, right? So we talk live in, live in WhatsApp. You called me. I happen to hear your voice, and I hope that's the one that's talking to me is you, and that you're not using anyone else. Unit 9 is Nursing Information System Team and our expanding realities. So that completes the course in nursing informatics, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope you learn a lot from this lecture. So throughout this course, you have explored the field of nursing informatics and its impact, influence, and transformative powers in the healthcare arena, patient care innovations, and the nursing profession. As we are informed through the use of nursing informatics and expand our knowledge and technology-infused practice, we impact our reality, the reality of the healthcare industry, and the reality of our patients. Through the application of knowledge, technologies, and nursing informatics, disruptive forces transform reality and disrupt the healthcare industry. Forces beyond our control, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, disrupted our reality, with governments mandating social distancing and quarantining in isolation. Through our discussion, we have only scratched the surface, but we wanted to give you a glimpse of how our professional and personal lives will change, and the innovative disruption in our healthcare arena that is challenging our paradigms and rapidly creating new ones. New ways of thinking, working, and learning. Once again, I thank you for participating in our discussions, assignments, and activities. We've been together since January of this year, and now that our course is ending, I hope you learn something out from this course and ignite your interest in nursing informatics as the future of nursing. Thank you and have a wonderful day. And these are my references.